thank you for everyone coming here, because I know we all have our own lives, right? But we're all committed to this program, right? So one of the questions that I want you to speak about throughout this day and throughout this mindset session is really, are you guys interested in this program and changing your lives? Or are you committed to this program and changing your lives? Yes, write it down. You don't have to answer it right now, but I want you to think about it today and every day that you're here. You remember how we talked about Monday, like, are you giving everything 100%? How you do everything, or how you do anything is how you do everything. And I'm saying that to you guys because it's a question that I ask myself. And sometimes I have to be honest, like, no, I'm not doing my best. And so I gotta, look myself in the mirror and know that today, you know what? Today I didn't do my best, but tomorrow I need to do my best, because one of my problems was, oh, I have 60 days left at school. Tomorrow will be all right. There'll just be 59 more days left. No, we need to give 100% the entire time to our program because we owe it to ourselves. So one of the things we want to touch on today is RESPCT. Find out what it means to me, right? So we all deserve to be respected, right? It's something that we need to be able to give to one another and to give to ourselves. And there's been some, I don't know what you want to call it, let's just say issue with respecting one another, respecting the program, respecting our time, and respecting our knowledge as mentors. Like, you guys are all amazing, but you have to know that you're not that special. And I mean that in the kindest way possible, in that what you're going through isn't special. I can guarantee you someone in this first class, someone else in this room, I can ask one question, there will at least be two of you that'll get up and say, I'm going through the same thing, I'm feeling the same way, that's my same struggle, right? And so I know a lot of times in our lifetime, hella shit's happen and we're guarded. Our wall is up because there's so many people who have failed us, there's so many things that we failed at, and you don't want to open yourself up to being vulnerable because you're going to have to acknowledge, I need to work on that. I'm going to tell you for myself, I like to, public speak and all that, but a lot of times I don't always raise my hand up because I know if I do, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it, or I'm going to talk about it, that means I'm going to have to own it. That means I'm going to have to take the responsibility. I know this. Besides knowing it, I'm saying it out loud, so damn, I'm going to have to apply it. So going back to respecting each other, just know that they deserve it and that they can't give you respect, your peer, your mentor, if you don't respect them either, right? And again, you're special, but you're not, because we've gone through the same thing too, through the first phase, but now we're going through our own struggles while trying to help you with yours, right? So I think we really definitely deserve that respect, but you deserve the respect of us giving you our 100% also. And that's for everyone. That's all of us in our first class that we need to own, being mentors and really owning that, but also respecting one another, because we want to take Saptown Fit Club to another place. We want to change our lives and change everyone else's lives around us. So really think, like, are you interested in that program? Is your toe in? Are you all in? Did you jump in the pool? Or your feet just dangling in there? Or just hanging on the side, trying to get a feel of it? I mean, you paid your money. Okay, you're interested, but are you committed to changing your life? Yes, guard your heart, but put the walls down and know that you are not going to change. This program is not going to do what it's intended to do for you until you let it, until you become vulnerable, until you say, yes, I acknowledge it, I need to change. And look at yourself in the mirror and think, is it me? Yeah, it's you. You're the problem. You're in your own way. Do you have haters? Yeah, maybe everybody's like, I got haters, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Is it really the haters that are stopping you? Or are you just saying you have haters because you want to be like everybody else and you got haters? Because I just want to be honest, I don't feel like I have haters because I don't pay attention to them. And if they are, you can say I'm oblivious to it, whatever. But I don't think about it, so that means I don't attract it. If you have a shitty perspective of life and people, those are the people, the that's going to continually to come into your life because that's your focus. So the universe and God is going to be like, okay, well, that's all you want. That's all I'm going to give you. So if you want to change your life and really have this program and Sacktown Fit Club help you through that, we are here. But you have to give us the respect and you have to open up to the program and to us. Because we're all in this together, right? We have to be our brother's keeper. I don't know if you guys ever see me work out like when we do FedEx, I'm staring at myself in the mirror the whole time. And it's not because I think I look cute because I'm a hot mess. It's because the entire time I'm talking to myself like, you're supposed to be jumping higher. Your form is not right. People are watching you. You have to own it. You want to be this, you want to be that. Then you have to look at yourself in the mirror every day and ask, are you committed to being the person that you want to be? Saying, doing, reading, listening to everything that's going to help you get there? Or are you just skating on by? So that's it for now. So now we're going to start with Jesse, and we're just going to share with you guys our struggles. So again, we're in this together. No one's special, and I don't want to take away from that. It's just that you're not special. We're all going through it. What's special is your experience. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, we want the same bonds as you guys. We had to like commit to that and really leave ourselves vulnerable and make the time to go to the gym together and make our schedules fit, not getting any sleep. Spend time away from our families. We all have families too. We all have our own lives too. We all have our significant others too. But we took the time away from them because we were committed to the program. And now we're doing the same thing to each other, committed to each other as first class, committed to our family, but also committed to you guys. So really just be mindful of what everyone is going to be saying and sharing, and know that you're not special, we're all going through it. And experience how amazing or how bad it's going to be, it's up to you. It's you. Okay? That's it.
Hello everybody, as you know, my name is Jesse, and I did go through the first round, and what a lot of you probably don't know is that in the midst of going through the candidacy program, I was actually fighting for custody, going through divorce, and it was one of the hardest things in my life, basically having to deal with that and having to focus on myself. But the amazing thing about this program was it helped me to choose what my focus was. Was I going to focus on the everyday struggles of life, or was I going to basically gravitate towards some positivity that could be in my life if I choose? And so I chose, I can only control what I can control, but my positivity, that's something that I had the most control of at that point in time in my life. So I let the courts do what they had to do, and I gravitated towards the positivity of Sacktown Fit Club, all my friends that were in the program. And the amazing part is that when I reached out and I needed some support as I was going through different events in my life, all these people right here had my back 100%. They gave me the positivity, the courage, the things that I needed in order to face my life, my everyday situation. And I thank God that this program gave me the strength to get through it, and that I was able and strong enough to decide that positivity was the way that I was going to go. So life happens to us all, but it's up to you to choose whether you're going to focus on the negative or the positive. So, thank you.
Okay, everybody, I think we're supposed to go through our struggles through the program. The last program I went through, it was time management for me. That one is also still a big struggle for me. And I'm struggling this time with journaling. I'm having a hard time and having to play catch up for 2 days. Just having a hard time with time. So So for me, my work schedule is really, really vigorous. I don't know what I'm gonna do the next day until 4 p.m. Then I get my schedule the next day. So I could be working the day shift and get a call midday, hey, you're working tonight also. So that means I have to leave here, get my macros done for the next day, pack my food. If I have a workout, rebuild or something in there, and I get that night job, guess what? I got to stretch that food out for the whole 20 hours of the day. So for me, that time management means time away from my kids, time away from my wife and our relationship, time away from Fit Club sometimes. So if you guys are going through time management struggles, I feel you. If there's somebody going through the same thing like Gigi said that you're going through. And you know, sometimes I'm up for 20 hours and that food's barely enough to get me by, but I don't make any excuses. I make it fit, I make it work, and it's all about how bad do you want it. Because last night I was so tired I didn't want to do anything, but I hadn't hit my gym days. So I went last night and I went with Jeff this morning, and I got 2 gym days to start the week, and guess what? I'm ahead of the game now. So if I work this week 2 doubles, then I can make, you know, 1 more by the end of the week. Then I've got 3 or 4 times this week, and I'm good. And so me getting my food and only having to sleep hours, it's all about how bad do you want it. Are you willing to give up sleep for it? I am.
So my struggle, which might come as a surprise to some of you, if I start crying, I apologize, but it's really dear to my heart, is my confidence. I walked in here and we were like, oh, guess what, we're going to be posing. Everybody was excited. I hid in the corner. I stood behind Cash because she could hide me. I hid behind Barbie's bubbliness. Gigi was so into it, I could just pretend to stand next to her, nobody noticed me. And when it came to taking pictures, I didn't want to do it. Posting my videos, I was the last one. I did practice in front of my family. I refused, adamantly refused, and we're all adults here, so I'm going to say this, to practice in front of my husband. And we've had sex, obviously, because we have kids together. It was not happening. Through this program, and really the belief of all these people that I am beautiful on the inside and the outside, was the biggest game changer for me, because it made me realize, like, it really is about your mindset. The personal development, the needing to just trust the people that are with you. I may not be perfect, which none of us are, we never will be, so throw that out the window as you're driving down the freeway next time, but you're always going to be better than you were yesterday. There's always something about you that makes you beautiful. Our flaws make us beautiful. Our, imperfections make us absolutely handsome and gorgeous and amazing, and when we can actually embrace that, the rest of that stuff doesn't matter. For me, yeah, I walked around like, oh, I got this, I'm going to do this, look at that, oh, you see this, my arms, check this out. But you know what, honest to God, till that door opened and I saw some of you guys sitting there staring at me, I was ready to quit. It wasn't until that door opened and I saw that light that I realized, like, they've already seen me, I can't leave. Runaway Bride, I refer to it, I was Julia Roberts. Like, it was that moment. If Joe hadn't opened those doors and I would have had even 3 seconds more, I would have been gone. He would have opened those doors to just nothing. It was literally down to the wire. And I took everything seriously. Everything. I hit my numbers every day. I didn't make excuses about my food, because I couldn't get to the gym because of taxes. I struggled with time and this and that, and because I didn't have the confidence in myself. It wasn't that I didn't have the time. I just didn't have the confidence that I could do it. So really, get into your personal development, believe in yourself. When we all say we believe in you, it's because we do. It's not because we're blowing smoke at you, but we really do. Take it, embrace it. Because when those doors open, there's no turning back. And if you do, I'm going to be standing right behind you.
So I'm health coaching. My struggles were, of course, time management and lack of sleep. My day starts at 4 a.m. I wake up and I'm doing my personal development as I'm doing my hair and makeup because that's the only time that I can find to do it. Go to work the whole day, come straight here, or if I could fit it in, I go to the gym first, but most of the time I was coming here to do help with Fit Club and lead at the counter or do whatever was needed here. Then we would go to the gym after 11:30, midnight. Then I get home about 12:30. And sometimes I'd be doing my journal. Well, every night I'd be trying to do my journal or working on my macros for the next day so I could go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Back up at 4 a.m. Majority of the time it was 2 to 4 hours of sleep that I got. Sometimes I got 5 and that was like the best day ever. 5 hours of sleep was like the best day in your life. Just but more than just the lack of sleep, and I mean I broke a few times. There was a couple times that I just broke down because I was just exhausted. And I drive for work. A lot of times I have to go marketing, so I have to go out of town. I have to go to Napa. I have to go all over. And driving when you're exhausted is not the funnest thing in the world. Some of you know that. So veering off to the road, I had to pull over one day and call my boss. Tell him, I'm sorry, I'm going to fall asleep behind the wheel. I have to take a 15-minute break. So you don't get breaks when you're marketing. It's just part of the deal. But I did it. I pulled over into a rest stop and literally closed my eyes for 15 minutes just so I didn't kill myself on the road or any other people on the road. But also, a lot of my struggle is people hating on me. I know Gigi said she didn't receive that, and that that's the type of people you're attracting. I don't truly agree that it was people I was attracting because I didn't absorb it. I accepted what people had to say. These people who were supposed to be my closest friends telling me that I looked sick, I looked like I was bulimic, you know, you name it, I heard it. You know, and I looked at them in their faces, they told me these things, or that I was a horrible friend now because I was never around, you know, all the stuff which people are experiencing with their children and their families because I made the decision to commit to this program, and I stuck by it. So I said, you know, I appreciate your concern, and I appreciate what you're telling me, and I thank you for coming to me with it, but this was my choice. I chose to give my 1,000% to this program, and I'm going to work on it to try and better my time management skills, and that's what my personal development is all about this time around, is time management. Everything I can find time management, I'm looking at it and reading it and listening to it. And driving in the car, I'm listening to it. But I didn't let it bring me down, I didn't let it affect me, and I didn't let it hinder my results. Because yes, that may be the way they felt, but that wasn't my truth. That was their truth of my journey, not my truth. So remember, your personal development, that's going to get you to that point when people are going to tell you stuff. Everyone's going to have their own opinion of how you should look. My executive vice president came up to me the other day and said, you need to stop losing weight, you're too skinny. I said, okay, thanks. But that's his opinion of how I look. So you got to remember that it's your truth. You have to focus on your truth and why you are here. Remember that, why you chose to do this program. And remember, when you don't want to go to the gym at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night, or you don't want to come to the Fit Club, you chose to get this program. You signed that contract. This is your journey. So if you don't go, there goes your results, not going. Just saying.
Hi guys, good morning. Good to see everyone. Glad everyone could make it. You guys don't know my name, right? Right. I think what I want to talk about is making excuses. And I was the type of person before the release candidate making excuses of why I didn't want to do something. And even before the day of the decision of making it, you know, I had like 10 excuses why I wasn't going to do it. But like you guys know, and I told you guys before, I overheard my wife and my daughter say something about me, and I didn't really like that perception that they had about me. So I wanted to change the way they looked at me. I mean, I felt like I wanted to be a better man, a better father, a better husband to them. So I thought by taking this challenge off the first phase on, by taking on that challenge, I thought I would be able to change the perception. And I guess I have to realize it's not always about how other people look at you. You got to know how you feel about yourself. But that was important to me. And then so about making excuses, that was my major problem. And also trusting the process. Going through the journey, I would say probably about 5 or 6 weeks in, I still didn't see no results. I mean, the scale said I was losing a little bit of weight, but every time I looked in the mirror, I wouldn't look at myself in the eyes. I mean, and you know how you guys can look at yourself in the mirror, but you don't look at yourself. You just sort of look off, into space, and you're looking at yourself. Well, that's how I was up until 5 or 6 weeks into the program, because I wasn't confident in myself. And then as I started seeing things change, and as Joe and the rest of the release candidates were telling me, hey, just trust the process, and it's like, yeah. You know what I mean? I was saying yeah to their face, but it's like, you know what I mean? Just walk out and like, yeah. But then as you start seeing things develop and your body changing and your mindset changing, then you start believing it. You know what I mean? And it's when that little fire sparks in you and you see the change, whether it's in your mind or whether it's in your body, that's when all things started changing for me. And I just had to trust Joe. That was two of my main things, always making excuses and trusting Joe and what he said. And Joe and Elsie, they've sown a lot into us, and they have trusted us with you guys. And I believe that if they didn't believe in us, they wouldn't have given you guys to us. So I ask that you guys just trust us, trust the process. And one of the things we said last night was, the saying that I said last night was, if you resent the process, you're going to abort your purpose. And everyone has a purpose, right? And your purpose is to make it to the final day and to walk across that stage. And I know, and I'm assuming right now that when you guys signed up, all you guys seen was us on stage. You guys didn't see Martin only get 2 hours sleep. You guys didn't see Jeanette pulling her hair out. You didn't see, you know what I mean, Ashley only get 3 hours sleep because she goes to work. She comes straight here, and then we go to the gym, and then be meal prepping at midnight. I mean, I wouldn't get to bed till midnight, but I could make all these excuses, but I was dedicated. I was committed to do something. And like I said, it's around weeks, then it was like week 7 or 8, when I said, you know what, I have to own this because I'm going to be the one walking up on stage. No one else is going to do it for me. So it's when you guys really own it, it's when you guys are going to get serious and quit making excuses and quit finding excuses and trying to find someone to cry on their shoulder. You're just going to say, you know what, F it, I got to do it, and I'm going to own it. So just don't make no excuses, and once again, don't resent the process, because if you do, you're going to abort your purpose.
Okay, so my biggest struggle was how hard I was on myself. Like, I was super critical and hard on myself. Like, I could see somebody else who weighed more than me, different body style or whatever, and they can wear stuff, and I was like fine with it. Like, I'm glad they got self-esteem, they got confidence, they wore whatever they wanted, not care and rock it. But for me, I was super hard on myself. I'd be like, you shouldn't be wearing that, like, you need to change, and like whatever. And so the first 2 months, that's how my mindset was on me. I was just super hard on myself all the time. And the last, like, it was a month before we were gonna get on stage, and I had this whole week, I mean, like, we got into arguments about it. It was like, I told them, I was like, I'm not getting on stage like this. Like, I don't know, I'm proud of everyone else, and they all got these great results, but these weren't the results I had wanted for myself, and I'm not getting on stage like this. I'm the one who has to walk the stage. I'm the one who has to look like this for naked pictures and videos and everything else, and I'm just telling you guys how I used to think. Like, I was super hard and critical. Anybody else can do it, and I didn't view them that way, just myself. So I talked to Elsie about it, because for me, I was like, Joe wasn't going to let me go on stage looking like this. Like, I'm not trying to embarrass them or the program or myself. And so she had told me, you're not celebrating perfection, you're celebrating your progress. And I was like, it's like she slapped me in the face. And then, so later on that week, I didn't tell him, but we were talking again, because I was like, still, like, I don't think I'm doing the stage. Like, I'm not going to do this to myself. And then he said something similar that Elsie had said, that you're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to get some progress. Like, this is 3 months. You can't expect to go from where you were to complete perfection that's in your eyes. Especially when we want to see ourselves as this perfect certain body style. And my body was changing. It wasn't how I thought it was going to change, though. Because, like, let's just say, for example, for me, I always had a muffin top. So I just wanted that gone. But it doesn't just that part go away. It just all together you get smaller and smaller and smaller. So I was like, this is not, but I'm thinking it's going to happen and like whatever. So I had to start seeing, well, I am making progress and I'm getting to the point. And when Elsie and Benny had like opened my eyes about that, my mindset changed. And I wasn't expecting perfection for myself anymore. I was expecting progress and results. Like, I was making progress. Soon as it was a whole week, it was crazy. I was hecka mad. I was like crying. I was like mad. It was crazy. It was a crazy week. But I was trying to fight it, because deep down inside I knew that was like wrong. Like, why would I do that to myself if I don't do that to other people even? Like, you have to love yourself. It's like I loved other people more than myself, thinking that way. I got most of my results in those 3 months the last month when I broke through that mindset and that way of thinking. I always hit my macros, I did the gym, I did what I was supposed to do into that part, but the last month I completely, is when I got most of my results physically, is when I let go. And so we always say, you know, your body will go where your mind is, like how you're thinking, and like your body reacts to what you're thinking, and you don't think that they have a connection physically, mentally, but they do. That's when I got most of my results, and I would just be waking up in the morning and I'd be like, dang, like what is going on? Like all of a sudden I started getting all these results. My confidence changed, my confidence had got better, and I was like with Jeanette too, like she'd be hiding, I'd be over there with her, because I was like, they were like ready to pose, and I was like, no, I'll go last, like I don't want to do this. I didn't want to pose and have to walk and look in the mirror, because I was like, like with clothes on we can do this, go with the bathing suit, no. But then at the same time, when I was struggling with if I was going to get on stage or not, part of it was like, we're a team, and like, we're all in this together. We've been in the gym, we've been staying up late, we've been super tired. Some of the workouts we thought we couldn't live through, like, we all were together, and I was like, they're not, like, none of us were the type of, we're like, oh, let's throw on a bikini and get in front of people. None of us were like that. So it was like a struggle for all of us to be able to do that, and I felt like we're a team. Like, if they're getting on stage, I have to get on stage. Like, we went through this together. So my struggle was the mindset part. It also led into my food. So the last month, I started eating more food. Instead of trying to drink my protein through shakes and bed mix and all that stuff, I started eating more food. I was really picky. So I was really creative on how I started cooking food and making it to how I liked it. So the last month, it was like crazy that when your mindset changes and you're not so hard on yourself and expect perfection, and then you start eating the way you need to eat. So I was hitting my macros and stuff before, but it wasn't as much through like food, like chicken and all that stuff. So for me now, like the last month as I got the most results, those two things. So hopefully, like if that's where your mindset is, you have to renew it. And it comes through personal development. I had told Elsie that I've always done personal development for years. So I was like, oh, it's not a big deal, but I still did it like Adrian did. In the morning when I'm getting ready, I was playing it. But it's like you're depositing in yourself. You don't know that, because that day you don't feel like you need that, but later on, you start needing it. You have to draw from it, so you have to deposit that in yourself, because when you're having those bad days and weeks and whatever, and you're not feeling so great, that's where the personal development will rise up from within you and be your strength.
Okay.
So my struggles were very similar to what some things you've already heard, which was not using my everyday schedule as an excuse to why I couldn't give my all in the program. Just to paint a picture of a typical day for me, at the time I was living in Natomas. I'm now living in Antelope, which is still a little bit of a drive, not too bad, but I was driving to work as a preschool teacher, which is exhausting in itself. So I am a full-time preschool teacher, and then I would drive all the way to Elk Grove to tutor. So I was driving from Natomas to Elk Grove to go tutor, and then I would drive from Elk Grove to here to Fit Club. On a good day, if I got here early enough, I would catch a quick nap, set my alarm in the car, recline my seat all the way back, and would get a quick little 15-minute power nap in. And then I would come here and work at the counter, help at Fit Club, stay here pretty much to the last person left, and then we'd all go to the gym. And then when we got home from the gym, it was like, oh, I still have to go to the store to get food, or I still need to prepare my macros for the next day. For me personally, I won't plan my macros the day of. So for me and my sanity, it's always the night before, so that I'm just prepared and I don't have a reason to mess up. Because if I mess up while planning it the night before, it's easy to fix because I haven't eaten it yet. So I would stay up and plan it. It didn't matter how late it was. It didn't matter that I was falling asleep driving home after the gym. I would lay on the couch literally dozing off, planning my macros for the next day, and then once I planned them, I had to get up and cook them. So this was 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and on a good day, I was getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep. 5 hours to us now is like golden. Like it truly is golden. So I'm a little better this go around with managing things and just learning to eat the same thing. I try to switch it up every day, and sometimes it's just too much. So just eating the same thing and Also, for me personally, that doesn't have to do with it. I was going to say this. I've always had the support from Wilda, but now that we're both doing it, there's more food already prepared. But that's just a side note. So for the first round, I couldn't use that as an excuse because then I wouldn't have the results that I got. And like Amanda said, it wasn't exactly where I wanted to be, but in my mind, I knew I was going to do this again. And I knew doing it again and again and again that my body was going to continuously change. And this was just one glimpse of the first part of my body. And then the second show is just going to be another glimpse into it. And my body's going to continuously change if I continue to put as much as I have been in it, even more. I need to put even more than I have been. But I had to not let that crazy schedule be an excuse, because even without the Release Candidate program, my schedule was crazy. Because I was still coming here to help before the Release Candidate program and then adding that on top of it. And then now that we're also mentoring, that's even more. So now not only do I stay up late doing macros, I stay up late checking the schedule, checking my mentees' numbers and checking in with them. So it's very doable. Like Gigi said, we all have lives. We all have things that we have to deal with other than the Release Candidate program, but if you really, really want it, you'll figure out a way to make it work. Sometimes on my lunch break at work, I just have to go sit in the car on my 15-minute break and take a power nap. I get my little naps in when I can. I set my alarm on my phone, and I don't make an excuse. I just find a way to make it work. There's been times where I'm supposed to be tutoring, and I give them something to read, and I figure out my macros while they're reading. So I fit it in where I can, honestly. That's what I do. I multitask. If I'm listening to them read while I'm doing my macros, there's nothing wrong with that. But just if you really, really want it, you'll find a way to make it work. You really, really will. You'll find a way to make it work. If I have to be on the playground doing squats while I'm watching the kids run around, then that's what I'll do. Like I said, we can all give more, and that's including class 1. I mean, we don't always give 100%, and we can always give more. But the important thing to remember is if you really, really want something, you will find a way to make it work. If you really, really wanted to go to some party or some birthday party, but you were busy or didn't have the finances or you had work, you would find a way to make it work. You'd find a way to go get that cute outfit, and you'd find a way to stay up a little later to go to that party. So if you really want your results, you'll find a way for that too. Otherwise, it means you don't really want it.
Hey. So, first I'm going to start with saying that this is a choice, and life is about choices. And I'm a big person on choices. For people that know me know that I raise my nieces and nephews. And some people, like over the years, tell me like, oh, that's so wonderful you do that, and all of that. And my biggest thing, I didn't want the kids to think that they were a burden to me because I chose it. It was a choice. I didn't have to do it. So I don't like to walk around saying, I took these kids over here, I'll be somewhere else, because I chose it. So with this program, me and Gigi had a pact that no matter how we look, we don't lose any weight, we were still going to get on stage in our bikinis because we chose to do this, we committed to this. Of course, we didn't want to do that, so we made sure that we did what we had to do. But choice is everything's a choice, and because I chose this program and I chose to commit to it, no matter how busy my schedule was or what I had to do, I made sure it worked. Meaning I made sure that if I had to make food for myself, I made it for the kids, so I meal prep for them, and I had to bring my meal prep with me, my food, the girls' food, leave food at home for my nephew, and I had to meal prep that, because if I just left it out, he would eat it all. So I just had to make sure that everything fit. And for me, my struggles was thinking that I had it all together. And I just recently found out in this phase that I didn't. With the kids, I thought that because I was doing everything that I was supposed to do, making sure they had everything that they needed, and then I was able to do everything that I wanted to do. This is my first time doing something for myself. I thought I had it all together. And my niece basically slapped me in the face and said, no, you don't, because she showed me that even though I was doing everything for them, I wasn't paying attention to them. I was just going. So I would have my nieces here, but I wasn't paying attention to them. They were just here with me, but I was never like connecting with them. So that was my biggest struggle. That's my biggest struggle now. So because I'm a person that deals with time management and always making sure I have to have things as a schedule. So now I do special dates with them. So we just schedule it out to make sure I give that one-on-one. Because when my niece sat down and talked to me and told me that this one is doing this and that one feels this way, I was hurt. Like, what? I'm like, I thought I was doing everything I was supposed to do. But you have to find the balance between the family life and this, if this is what you want. So you have to make sure you give 100% to both. And it's not that easy, but you have to make it work. You have to figure out, how can I make this work? For me, it was making these dates with them. And they love that because it's our one-on-one time by ourselves, wherever I can fit it in. And because I chose this and I want this, I'm going to commit to this, and I'm going to make sure I commit to this.
Hello. Okay, so the first round, my struggle was really being present and really opening up to the whole program. Because for me, like, mindset stuff, I was like, hey, I already have a pretty good life. I'm already a pretty bubbly, good person. I think I'm a good person. I don't really need to do that much mindset. But it wasn't until I really opened up, and when we had these Saturday morning meetings, which took me away from my family, and I was like, oh my God, what time is it? We need to go. Okay, let's hurry it up. Don't ask me questions. Let's not talk about it. Gotta go. That's when we leave. Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't until I really was like, okay, I committed. I'm going to be here. If it doesn't end till 2, okay. Because I'm here as a commitment, and I already talked to my family, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't until that happened that my life really came together. I felt less overwhelmed, and I felt more whole because my commitment was there, everything went together, my body started changing, and I really felt my life having more purpose. My life was truly impacted mentally, and that changes everything, right? We always talk about change your mindset, change your life. When it starts singing to you and you get that moment, that feels so amazing, and you will chase that, and that's why we're still here. Like, I have the same thing with Catch 2 with quantity versus quality, right? Like, Saturday's the only day I have with my husband, and I love my husband. He's like my best friend. And that today is the only day that we have the same day off. I don't really see him throughout the week because by the time he gets home, I'm coming here. But I love you guys. I love this program. I love this place. It's made me such a better person. So I sacrifice my time with my family to be here with my other family and to be here for you guys. And that's why when I was talking earlier about respect and respecting each other, it really means a lot because a lot of us have our hearts in this place and in this program. And that's why it might seem like, I don't want to say we're guarded, but we're like, what are you doing? Like you better, get with the program. It's because, yeah, you better get with the program. We are sacrificing a lot to be here for one another. So let's be here together. Woo!
Good morning. My struggles this last phase and even into this phase has always really been time management, eating the food that I need to eat, and I mean quantity of food that I need to eat. A lot of you guys have heard me talk about like the amount of chicken and stuff that I have to eat. It's a lot of food. And I'm one of those type of people that didn't really eat before the SATCOM picked up before anything. I stress not eat rather than stress eat. So when I'm stressed out with my business, with just different things in my life, I just tend to not eat food. I just push through it. But with time management, you have to figure out when you can eat, even though you're stressed out or you're busy, you have to do this. And that's what I have to figure out, and that's what I'm working on, and most days I'm really good. Some days I'm not, but that just means I have more food in my bedtime buffet. But the really thing that helped me is planning my macros beforehand, not the day of. Sometimes I still do plan it the day of, but more or less it's tweaking it. I have to tweak my macros, because I plan in bulk, so I'll put 22 ounces of chicken in a container, and that's what I got to eat for the day. And if I need to tweak it, then I'll weigh it out and see how much I have left, and then go, okay, I can tweak it a little bit here, tweak it a little bit there. And that's what I found to help me. Also, not planning out specific meals has helped me, because then, you know, if I sit there and I look at it and I say, I gotta eat this much food on this at this time, then I go, I can save that for later, or I'll eat it later. I'll eat just a little bit now and then save the rest later, and then I just won't get back to it. But knowing now, it's like, oh, I'm a little hungry, I can grab a little bit of food here, a little bit of food there, and I can eat it. Allows me to still feel like I'm not eating because I'm stressed out, or feel like I'm too busy, so I'm not eating, but I'm still eating. So it's just about a matter of trying to figure out what's worked best for you with your time management and meal prepping, and getting the right amount of food that you're supposed to eat for the day. If you need help, ask me or any one of us. We've done it before.
Okay, my biggest struggle was I set my standards so high at the beginning of this program, because I was probably the most excited for this program. Not that you guys were excited, but I was like jumping through the roof. Like, I have always wanted to do like pageants, shows, whatever you name it. Glitter, sparkles, I'm there. So I literally set my standards so high that I would kill myself at the gym. I would do like 45 minutes of HIIT, 6 to 7 days a week. You know, come to Fit Club, go lift, meal prep, everything you guys are doing, I would do it, but with added cardio. So I was like exhausted throughout the day. I definitely didn't have enough energy throughout the day, and that really made me just sorry, I wanted to say something. So I killed myself so much at the gym that I would not stop. Like, I kept going and going and going until I would finally be like so tired. I'd be like, Elsie, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I was like, Jen, you need a break. And I was like, no, I can't take a break. I can't take a break. And she was just like, you need a break. So I was like, okay, I would do a break. I literally had a break and then boom, right on it again. It was like go, go, go. I would kill myself. For the first month and a half, it was nonstop. So, I mean, I'm just letting you guys know, like, if you're not killing yourself right now, you're not going hard enough. Because I did it, and you guys can too. I survived. I might have had maybe 3 breakdowns throughout the whole thing. Only 3, which is not a lot because, you know, 3 months, one month. But, you know, like my days are long. When I did the first phase, I lived in Woodland, and I would drive all the way from Woodland to here. I know Maryland still does. But for me, that was a big struggle because I didn't just come to Fit Club and then go home. I came to Fit Club. I stayed until everybody left, just like Ashley. I went to the gym. I went home, and it wasn't like, you know, like a 20-minute drive. It was like 30, sometimes 40, depending on like how slow I went because I was so tired. I was falling asleep like on the freeway. No joke. Every single day. I don't know how I survived. I know how I would get home some days, but I would get home, and I wouldn't go to sleep. There was no way I could go to sleep because if I didn't meal prep, my whole day the next day was gone. Like, it was messed up. And to me, my standard was set so high that I would lose sleep. I was literally zoning around all the time. I was like, oh, Barbie, something to me. No, but really though, like, no, that was okay. But I really want you guys to like see how really committed are you to this program, because oh, it finally fell.
Oh, he's looking for light though, so the color.
Oh, for light by me.
Put in the cup. Oh, open the door. No, I'm not.
Okay, I'll take a turn.
How much cardio were you doing, Barbie?
So I would do HIIT 45 to an hour.
Fasted.
Actually, We also have metabolic. I would do every single thing and more. And so if you guys aren't giving it your all and you're tired after one metabolic, you're not going hard enough.
Boom.
So commit yourself or don't come because there's no point. Like you're gonna go up on stage and looking the same. No, so just commit yourself.
Guard your heart. Guard your heart. But receive
you guys,
it.
If anything that we said, you take it personally or it spoke to you, it's supposed to. And it's not as an attack, it's really to like, hey, wake up, let's go.
And when we say guard your heart, it means like, because you want to, it's not put walls up. It's guard it from being offended because I'm telling you this to better you and help you. I want you to be better. We want you to be better. So when we say guard your heart, it means automatically don't get offended because you can choose to be offended or not. You can choose to let it go or not. And there's plenty of times we've told each other, Elsie's told us straight up stuff, and it was only the truth and it was to make us better. Did we like hearing it? Did we like they said that? No. But then you appreciate that they were trying to make you better, and at the end I was like so thankful. Sometimes Elsie just straight up told me stuff and I didn't like it. I'm not saying I was happy, but it made me better. It made me who I am today in a whole bunch of, in those specific areas. So when we say guard your heart, it doesn't mean put up walls. It just means choose not to be offended because we're trying to make you better.
Questions that we want you to answer, and we expect these answers to be given to your mentor. Just to find out. Are you interested or committed?
Today? Yeah, get your papers out, put your names on it. Oh, I'm short, bro. Stand still. Stand still. I'm trying to get this.
Second question is who